1 month before the incident. We are a transportation crew. We transport materials, people, merchandise, military equipment, and basically whatever the job entails. We do it for the money, and the money is damn good. The year is 3100, and Earth no longer exists. But we managed to find a cluster of habitable planets in a nearby galaxy. This small cluster of planets are close enough to each other that we can jump as we desire. Some are only a few months away via spaceport. It sometimes makes for long journeys on the job. In order to help our species out, we need to transport anything and everything to all nearby planets. We can't let any of the planets lose valuable resources, whether that's military-grade weapons, food, supplies, insecticides, or even toilet paper if it's required. We support each other and make damn sure we don't destroy this cluster of planets like we did Earth. My grandparents' grandparents passed down stories of assassinations on Earth. They said death crept up slowly, and no one noticed until it was too late. The oceans didn't become acid overnight. Some days it was fine to swim in them, other days you swam and came back with blisters on your body from all the chemicals. And eventually, the oceans killed all of its inhabitants. Every single living fish, plant, and microbe. And when that happened, it started spreading throughout the land. No one was safe from the apocalypse. So now, the number one job is cargo transportation. We all support each other. It's important to maintain interplanetary life throughout our cluster. And tomorrow is another round of transporting weapons, plants, and even people. Astrid Briars wasn't digging ditches for fun. Her crew discovered a new species of plant life growing in an unexpected location, the desert near rocky terrain. Despite the lack of water to sustain it, the plant has bioluminescent leaves and pods. What kind of fruit must this be, she thought, while gently squeezing the pod. She uncovers the plant's roots with a small spade, taking samples to study it. She wants to find out more about this particular plant. After all, some plants have secrets, and some of those secrets can save our lives. After obtaining some samples, she places them in a sturdy transportation box and calls it a day. The next day, she arrives at the transportation port with her boxed up plants in one hand and a small bag in the other. She waits for the captain to tell her she can board. The weather is odd today, she noticed. The sky is pink with purple swirls, making the day look like perpetual sunset. It's beautiful. One by one, she sees cargo spaceships punch the sky vertically. With the thrust of their engines, there's no need for a runway. She sees a handsome, blonde, bearded man approaching her as she waits. He's muscular with dashing blue eyes. His hair is long in front, causing it to sometimes fall on his face. "Are you Astrid Briars?" he asks.
"Yes. And you are?"
"I'm Archy Zimmer, your captain. We're ready to board. Please take all your belongings and head to Q4. It's going to be a quick 1-month trip."
1 month is not quick. I have plants. They could die in 1 month, Archie.
Call me Z for short. On my ship, we shorten everyone's last name. Mind if I call you Bree?
Bree works for me. How can I keep my plants alive?
Don't worry, Bree. We have a greenhouse on board, along with an engineer, a pilot, a mechanic, a co-pilot, a doctor, a nurse, and even a botanist like you who also loves plants. If you love to eat, we have food and plenty of it. Love being wet, we got showers as well as communication devices and weapons. Not that we'll need them, but you get it, we have it all, including plant food. Each transportation ship is its own contained ecosystem designed for survival while it moves across the sky. You'll be well taken care of, Bree. Bree and the other passengers board the spaceship. The circular ship has 30 rooms for 30 civilians labeled Q1 to Q30. She was in Q4. The crew stayed in rooms that started with C. There were several, including another botanist who was part of the crew. At least I'll have someone to talk to, she thought. After finding Q4, she unpacked her clothes, placed her shoes in the closet, and then she decided to explore the ship. She walks out of her quarters and makes a quick left and accidentally bumps into a crew member.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It actually happens all the time. The circular formation of the ship creates a lot of blind spots. Are you the botanist?
Yes, I'm Bree. Well, Astrid Briars, but Z started calling me Bree for short.
It suits you. I'm Ev, short for Evall. It's a thing we do on this ship. No one else does it, but we're family. We take the first 2 or 3 letters of your last name and that becomes your name, except Sky. No one can pronounce his last name, so we go by his first. It's It's nice to meet you, Bree. Walk with me and I'll give you a tour of the greenhouse.
Can I take my plants? I just discovered a new species.
I want to hear all about that. Grab your plants and you can tell me all about it on the way. I'll show you where new plants go. They need to be separated, quarantined if you will.
As they tour the greenhouse, Ev shows Bree where the fruit trees are, the berry bushes, the herbs, poisonous spices, and the medical plants. Her soft voice and animated gesturing make her a great guide. Her voice is warm, like a grandmother's voice, but Ev is young. There is nothing grandmotherly about her. She's also tall and slender and looks like she can kick ass if need be. While touring the greenhouse, Bree points to the gun on the side of her holster and asks,
What's that?
This is my handy gun, just in case.
No, not that. The other gun.
That's not a gun. It's a bioweapon. It might look like a gun, but this green vial is filled with a fluid-like substance. Except it's not really fluid. It's a virus-like nanobot created to infect anything you shoot it. It rapidly reproduces inside the host body and bursts it open. It will destroy any target. So, no, it's not a gun. It's a life preserver. Let's go over to the quarantine zone.
One by one, they enter the small decontamination chamber. Doors shut tight and the gas is sprayed, killing any foreign bacteria they might be carrying on their clothes or skin. With a few mechanical clicks and hums, a white gas explodes from the ceiling, washing over each one as it decontaminates them.
It's strong, enough to kill mice if it enters. We don't want vermin on the vessel.
In the last few centuries, they've discovered many species of plants. New plants have a new way of life here. With her container in hand, Bree and Ev enter the room and unwrap the new plant. As they open the plant container, they smell the scent of honey. Bree continues to unwrap it and notices how lush the plant has become. There are many more pods. It's been thriving. Impressive, she thought.
There's nothing on this planet that looks like that.
The bioluminescent on the plant starts to glow a little brighter.
In the wilds of Earth, bioluminescent species use this trick to attract prey.
Bree places the plant on a shelf and takes a step back to look at her brand new baby. She smiles. It's beautiful. The light it emanates looks like moonlight. She gives a slight smirk and says,
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go, Ev.
Bree steps into the decontamination chamber and she hears it seal itself. As the countdown begins, she looks at Ev.
I'm right behind you, Bree.
The scent of honey gets stronger and suddenly there's a hiss in the air. Ev turns and looks at the plant. The hiss is coming from one of the pods. She approaches it and sees one of the pods deflating, almost like it's releasing something. As she leans in, she sees what looks like antenna digging out of it, then legs, then a body. It has incisors. It's chewing its way out, but it also has a stinger like a bee. This purple and white striped creature is at least 2 inches long. And just like that, she hears the rest of the pods hiss.
Oh my god.
She whispers to herself and runs towards the decontamination chamber. She bangs on the glass at the side of her fist and says,
Something is happening to the plant.
She's frantic and scared. Bree looks through the glass door of the chamber and sees a swarm of insect-like creatures buzzing around them. One by one, they begin to get closer to each other, and quickly it begins to form a bigger shape. It's the shape of a larger creature. This hive mind works as one to create a queen, a wretched-killing, human-eating queen. It's perfectly adapted to hide on the plant and invade when the time is right. Ev quickly shoots, but the insect separates and reform. They come in and begin biting, then stinging Ev. Ev screams as she watches welts form on her arms and legs. Her eyes are swollen from the stings, but she tries to shoot the bioweapon again, but fails. Bree finally exits the decontamination chamber through the other side in a panic, and Ev stumbles in. Ev tries her hardest to swat and step on a few while the gas takes out the rest. As soon as the exit door opens, Ev falls out and hits the floor with a thud. Bree screams for help as she holds on to Ev's convulsing body.